Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Welcome to the Final Boss podcast to all our supporters out there. This is going to be a very, very informative episode. This is episode number 56, Understanding Sovereign Citizenship. Understanding Sovereign Citizenship. Now, before we get into it, I want to make sure that you guys go get your pen and paper, especially my smarts. Go get your pen and paper. We got some information that we're going to pass on to you. And I want you guys to take great notes so you don't have to keep going back and rewatching the episode. But I do enjoy when you go back and rewatch the episode. So whatever works for you. But listen, I got a very intelligent brother on tonight. His name is Saeed L. And we're going to get started with the information that he's bringing to the Final Boss, the only podcast that brings you the most uncomfortable and difficult conversations. But while we get to it, make sure you go like, share, and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything to support. Like, share, and subscribe the information on all of our platforms: Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, StreamYard, and Spotify. Please, please, please like, share, and subscribe to the information. We're getting ready to get into it. I hope everyone's having a great week this week. I know a lot of things have transpired over the last couple of days, but it's man, we're gonna be all okay, man. Pain is temporary. Just remember that. Pain is temporary. So with that being said, you said what?
This too shall pass.
Absolutely, man. This too shall pass. And if you got the faith, man, you good anyway. You know,
For sure.
for sure. All right. Like I before I get started with tonight's show, I like to do my brass tacks. My brass tacks tonight for all those who are out there listening. Tonight's brass tacks comes from Frederick Douglass. If there's no struggle, there's no progress. Power concedes nothing without a demand. It never did, and it never will. Those are great words from the great and late Frederick Douglass. Yes, sir.
Deep brother right there.
Hey, man. That's what we're going to do. Yes, sir. Straight to the point, knowledge and information to the people, to the smarts. Good evening, good evening, good evening. I'm speaking to some of the guests that are chiming in right now.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. All right, man. So, you ready to get into it?
Whenever you are.
All right, let's go. Today, we're exploring the fascinating and albeit sometimes misunderstood, but we're going to fix that. It's all positive tonight. That's what we're going to do. That's what we do here. There's a concept of sovereign citizenship in America. My brother, Saeed L., he's bringing a wealth of knowledge to this complex matter. Let's welcome the good brother.
I appreciate y'all. Especially you, Turbo, man. We've been entangled for a few years now. I've watched from a kind of afar. You were in the entertainment business before I was. So when I came in, I was like, whoa, everybody had their little spots, this and this and this. But when you came through, it was always a little extra lavish, a little bit more fabulous. Every time I saw you, I was like, okay, I see you. I see you. And still to this day, 2025, I see you. I see you, dog. Been doing your thing
Appreciate you,
for a
brother.
while. I appreciate the
I
opportunity to come on your
appreciate you,
platform.
man. Yeah, listen, mutual respect, man. Mutual respect. And as brothers of like mindedness, we would see each other, give the head nod, the respect, and we keep it moving. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
had a few conversations, man, and we were like, yeah, we speaking the same language. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
For
yes, sir,
sure,
yes,
for
sir.
sure. You've
Yeah,
always been a humanitarian, and I'm of the same heart. So, of course.
absolutely, absolutely, man, absolutely. So let's start, man. What is sovereign citizenship all about? Can you explain the core beliefs of this philosophy for us, please?
First and foremost, it's about freedom.
Okay.
It is about the word sovereign in the community and society and out in this world has been connotated as a negative thing when
Hmm.
it's not. It has been perverted to be a negative thing so that one, people will stay away from it, and two, there's some people out here that have done some things that shouldn't have been done in the name of sovereign citizenship.
Okay.
um but the first thing a person should do is when you define that word is, what does it mean? It's
Hmm.
ultimate power, ruler, unbounded, unrestrained, self-governing, autonomous, self-determining.
Okay.
Soon as you hear the word uh, uh, sovereign citizen, a
Hmm.
negative connotation comes up. So I would just like people to get the other definitions of that word so you can stop automatically going to the negative thing that's been flashed onto your mind.
Right.
Um, but basically, it's about a people who have discovered that they have been lied to.
Hmm.
They have discovered that they have had something taken from them, and they didn't do anything to deserve this thing taken from them. They
Right.
have uh, gone to school and we have learned about the slave trade and all of the atrocities that the melanated man and woman has been through.
Hmm.
So uh, you want to take back what was taken from you and what was taken from your ancestors. So sovereign citizenship is about getting back to where you were,
Okay.
back to your original, back to yourself. That's where it basically goes. It's a bunch of people who want to be free, who want not to be taken advantage of.
Got it.
Hmm.
All right. Thank you for that. And that's interesting. Very, very interesting. Listen,
Yeah.
smarts, take some good notes, man. The brother Saeed is dropping some gems tonight. So take some notes. My next question, man.
Like,
Um,
hold on. For instance,
yeah, go ahead.
I jotted down some stuff so I can make sure, because if not, I'll be all over the place and confuse the people with a whole bunch of information at once.
No, man,
So
take your time. Take your time.
to put that in perspective, if
Okay.
you go back and you look at the founding documents,
Right.
not a lot of us have gone and studied those documents, how
Okay.
this America was set up. And it gets really weird on you, because you look at the documents, you look at the dates, and then you
Hmm.
look at what was taught to you in history, and you started with like, oh wait a minute, something's not right here.
Oh yeah.
So if you go into the National Archives, it said that slavery was the 13th Amendment was abolished December 6th, 1865, right? It
Correct.
was passed by Congress.
Hmm.
But according to Article 2 of the Articles of Association, which were created October 20th, 1774, slavery was abolished then.
Ooh, wait, wait, wait.
Mhm.
Say that again, brother. Say that
Article
again.
1 of the Association of the founding documents, written October 20th, 1774. Article 2 stated, we will neither import nor purchase any slave imported after the first day of December next, after which we will wholly discontinue the slave trade, and we will neither be concerned in it ourselves, nor will we hire our vessels, nor sell our commodities or manufacturers to those who are concerned in it. Meaning, United States of America was shutting down slavery, and they didn't want to deal with nobody who was dealing with slavery.
with
They didn't want to
slavery.
have no dealings with it.
Man, so why did it take 100 years? And a
Did
whole
it
100 years had passed.
did it take 100 years, or are we being lied to?
Mm, that's another episode, Brad. That's another episode.
Definitely is. Definitely is.
For real. Matter of fact,
Because
go ahead and put that down.
it's
That
it's
yeah, that's
it's
another
funny.
episode, man.
It's funny because look, Turbo, I made sure to bring the receipts. I got
Hmm.
a portrait of the whole Louisiana uh, congregation from 1868. Now you gotta ask, if slavery had just ended, how did these gentlemen get voted into office? This document or this
Yeah,
picture is the Distinguished Convention and Assembly 1868.
I've
This is
seen that
from the
document. I've seen
this
that
is from the
before. Yeah.
Library of Congress. I always get things that are authenticated and certified.
Mm.
Me and the Library of Congress was on first name basis. I was always ordering stuff from them. I was ordering so much I knew the prices of everything before I was ordering.
Hey, brother.
So
We listen. We appreciate you for having the receipts. Real talk.
I make sure I bring
That's
them.
thorough. That's thorough right there. Yeah.
You don't
Wow.
have these here.
Okay.
It didn't come from there. So
Mm.
if slavery ended in 1865, according to Congress ratifying and passing that, how did 1868, you got all these folks here? Who voted for them?
Wow. That's a great point. That is a great point.
We shouldn't even have had, by what they taught us in school, we
Hmm.
shouldn't even have had voting rights then. So
Do
how did we
do me
get
a
on the ballot?
do me a favor,
Yes, sir.
and you're correct. N- Run off those names. It shouldn't take that long, and their positions in Congress or if they were in the Senate. Run. Can you run that off real quick?
You got O.J. Dunn, he's the lieutenant governor. It doesn't say their positions on here, it just lists their names.
Okay. Okay.
So pull up the Assembly of 1868 of Louisiana. You should see all these folks.
Okay. That's that's
And
reference
crazy
enough.
enough, I went into a little research on O.J. Dunn.
Hmm.
Mysteriously enough, he's the first lieutenant governor elected, black lieutenant governor elected that office, and then he was killed mysteriously. He died. Let me put that. He died while in office.
Wow. So much. So many don't know.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's definitely a lot of stuff we don't know. And if you just listen to the surface stuff that they tell you, you'll be lost about a lot of
Oh,
things.
absolutely. Absolutely. I don't take anything for surface, man. And to my listeners, you shouldn't either. If there's nothing I've been saying since day one, go do your own research. I'm
Yeah, you
dropping
got to.
crumbs. I'm dropping hints. I'm not going to say me. We're myself, my guests, these conversations. We're dropping breadcrumbs. We're leading you down the path so you can get the information, or we're leading you to the water so you can drink. That's
Hmm.
that's what we're doing. So yeah, thanks, brother, for that information, man.
Not a problem.
Yeah. You have any more receipts before my next question? Or is
Yeah,
there
I'm
some
ready for you. I'm
you
ready
good?
for the next question.
Okay, cool. How does this philosophy interact with the existing legal system in the United States?
Uh, well, let's take it this way.
Okay.
Sovereign citizens, i.e., non-citizen nationals, reject the 14th Amendment.
Okay.
That is the basic premise of the movement. I am not a U.S. citizen, and I'm not a 14th Amendment. Now, a lot of
Okay.
people would say, like, oh, tripping. What are you talking about? The 14th Amendment was used to give us rights when we were freed from slavery.
Hmm.
It had to be bought into the system of government. You would think that, right?
Right.
That wouldn't be true.
All right. Tell us more.
14th Amendment, I don't claim it. I don't claim to be none of that
Mm-hmm.
whatsoever. So let's go with the first thing. It
Okay.
says that if you are born in the United States, you are a U.S. citizen, right?
Correct.
So what is the United States? If you go to 28 USC 302, Section 15 of the U.S. Code, you have to go to their definitions. See, this is another
Mm-hmm.
thing that gets us tripped up in the system. We have our own universal language.
Correct.
Everyone thinks that this word means this, and Webster said it means this, that, and the third. But the US
Mm-hmm.
government makes their own definitions for the same words. So you got to go to their stuff to figure out what their stuff is.
Right.
28 USC 3002, Section 15 defines the United States as A, a federal corporation, B, an agency, department, commission board, or other entity of the United States, or an instrumentality of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
So we all are thinking this, where we live at, is the United States. Incorrect. This is the United States of America. And what
Correct.
they did was laid plastic wrap over the
Over
top of the
top of it.
United States of America and
Mm-hmm.
renamed it United States,
Yep.
inducted us into it, and now make
Mm-hmm.
us follow all these crazy rules and laws.
Mm.
There was no need for the 14th Amendment when slavery ended, because when we were born onto this land, we were given a nationality. We had a race. We had all those things. We were nationals then.
Wow.
What I've gone back to is being a national. We didn't need the 14th Amendment. The 14th Amendment took you out of physical slavery and put you in paper slavery. It usurped you. Congress had it out about this situation. Let's see. I got
Bef-
the
Wait, before you go further, I want people to understand, and this I've seen this, and he's absolutely correct. If you go look at certain court documents and legal forms, you will see the United States of America, and then you will see the United States. Two totally different things. So he's absolutely correct in that. And take that information and go look that up. And that's a big breadcrumb that'll give you some more information.
I'll tell you even better where to find it. It was introduced in the Articles of Confederation.
Okay.
The two, United States and the United States of America, was introduced in that document. If you go and look at that document, you'll see that basically the United States of America is the mama and the
Mm-hmm.
United States is the baby. It's the offspring.
Right.
It's under United
Under.
States of America.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll see that in there. But there was many states back to the 14th Amendment that they didn't legally vote on it. It was never legally ratified.
Wow.
Maryland, for a fact, didn't ratify it until 1959,
Mm.
91 years after it was introduced. There was other states that said that they were denied their right to vote on it. Some was held by gunpoint, some was not allowed to take their seat, some was not allowed to, they were there, but they weren't allowed to say they were there. And if you don't say you're there, your vote don't count. You know how I
Mm.
go in there. You have to be not only seated, but you have to say here.
Gotcha.
Some of them were gagged.
Right. Right.
So there was a bunch of states. Let's see. Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Louisiana, Mississippi, North Carolina, South Carolina, Texas, Virginia, and as I said before, Maryland. They never adopted the 14th Amendment.
Mm.
There is a document that I have in my possession right now in which it was the 90th Congress. They had it out on the floor, 90th Congress, and they basically said it was used to usurp the citizens and take their rights away. It's not what people think it is. And they had a whole big argument about the situation, but they let it go.
Mm,
And they just kept going with the whole situation and just went with it. But
wow.
it was never legally ratified by was it 3/3 of Congress?
Mm,
Never. So you got two problems there. You got one, you can go into the archives of the United States government and pull out documentation that says this thing is unconstitutional. So there is legal ramifications for this. Two, I, me, you, and everyone else cannot be born into a corporation. It's impossible for us to be born into something on paper. We
correct.
are flesh and blood, men and women.
Hmm.
No way for us to be born in the United States when the United States is just a corporation on paper. Me and you could go right now and create an entity and call it the United States. I can create an entity called the IRS. I can create an entity called whatever I want to call it.
Yeah, yeah. I know that, man. Businesses I've owned, absolutely.
Correct. You could
For
name
real.
a business whatever you want, just like
Hmm.
the reserve. People think the reserve is a part of government. It's not. Federal
Mm.
Reserve, that's just the
Oh
name.
no, yeah, that's just a name.
That's just
Yeah,
the name. That's just good
yeah,
business,
yeah.
to
That's
bring
another exactly. That's
yeah,
another
bring you
episode
down.
too.
So
Yeah,
it's impossible for uh like there is legal ramifications for the situation. People who are running around saying they are not US citizens, they are not 14th Amendment citizens, have
Mhm.
cause for saying these things, and they seem whacked out of their mind because folks don't know. They haven't read the documents. They haven't been doing the research. They don't understand when they took the Pledge of Allegiance out of school what they were doing, because there was never no part in the Pledge of Allegiance that I pledge allegiance to democracy. This has always been a republic. So when they did that, it was to not have you remember that it's the United States of America that you are pledging to, not the
Mm.
United States.
Wow.
So school and everything is a part of this big thing to keep people in this situation.
Mm.
A lot of things are misconstrued as
The
racism.
the indoctrination. Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So there is a legal ramification for it. And I can tell you for a fact it is. I went back and forth with the State Department for 4 months. I'm telling them one thing, they're coming back saying, no, that's not true. I'm telling them, yeah, it is. They're telling me, no, it's not true. And to be honest with you, it ended when Trump took office. My documents that I have here that prove my national status is signed by Marco Rubio. See, once you do your status change and everything, you now have to get documentation from them to say this. You can't run around on the assumption. See, right now, they're assuming you, Turbo, are a black man, an African American, because you don't have anything on file, on record, on official notification of anything else. So they assume what you are. You ain't there to say anything. It's called acquiescence. If I send you a letter right now and say you owe me $100, if I send it to you 3 times and you don't answer, I then have you in default. I'll take you to court. I'll show the judge that I sent this 3 times telling you that you owed me money. You didn't respond. The judge is going to give me a default order and you're going to pay me $100. It's called acquiescence. You didn't contest it. So whatever I say in law and you don't contest is the truth.
Fascinating.
So we're all under a misconception that you are this, you are this, you are this, because
Mm.
we don't know how to go about correcting the record.
Wow.
I'm ready for your next question, sir.
Man, you just dropped some major gems, man. Listen, mm, I'm.
We have been bamboozled, man.
It's like a spell.
It is.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are still suffering with it today. Like a lot of things are being changed and they don't know that these things were created to harm them.
Mm.
I'm going to create a killing business, but I'm going to call it Jesus Saves. You automatically going to think one thing because of the name, and I'm killing you the whole time. That's what's going on here. You have the FDA, you have the pharmaceutical industry, you have all these things, and they're plastered to help you, but they all eat lunch together. How is that? How is the FDA and the pharmaceutical industry cool? You know what I mean? They should be having shootouts every day, banging on each other every day. How is that possible? Y'all cool.
Oh man, the 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 visuals that we're portrayed to believe that the red hates the blue and the blue hates the red. It's ignorant, man,
Crap.
and it it is so much crap. It really is. It really is.
A lot of things is by design because these folks know and have studied us for many years and they
Oh
know
yeah,
we are very emotional.
yeah. They're masters of division, but yeah, they do understand that we are emotional creatures, and they know how to pull and tug on those emotions.
Hmm.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. You
Yeah.
know, and now you have words like emotional intelligence that they like to throw trend words out there and give definition to these things. But for those who know, they know,
Yeah.
and we've been
It,
knowing
it,
for a very long time.
it goes deeper than that. When you get
Oh
into
man,
these documents and stuff like
yeah.
that, you have to teach yourself to read in legal and ins legis because they don't write stuff in how they taught us in school.
Mm-hmm.
You'll go and read something and they have learned that they have wrote things in a certain way that it messes with your psyche while you're reading it because you're thinking this is wrong, I don't understand this, why is it in this form, it's not supposed to be like that, this is what they taught me in school. So you
Right.
don't understand what you're seeing, and that's by design.
Yeah. Yep. It's like contracts, man. That's why people hire lawyers, because
Yeah.
the legal jargon, the
Correct.
average person doesn't understand the legal jargon. So you go hire a lawyer to interpret
Hmm.
those contracts, and it's like a foreign language,
And write them for you.
and write them for you. Right.
Yeah. Hey, I got this business, I'm doing this, I need you to write
Hmm.
me a contract so I'm protected in all ways. Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Mm, it's good stuff, man. So, next question. Thank you
Mhm.
for the information. How do those who identify with this philosophy approach their interactions with government and legal institutions?
It depends
Okay.
on what type of person this is.
Okay.
Um, Sovereign citizenship and that whole thing got a bad rap because people took advantage.
Hmm.
There are some people who are scamming the system. They're bad people in everything.
Oh, there's bad people in everything, man.
There's
Everything.
bad people in everything.
Right.
And because this is a guarded secret of
Hmm.
government and society and like that, they're only going to push out the negative, the negative stuff. I know
Okay.
plenty of people in my position who have been in my position way longer than me, and they're regular folk.
Okay.
Thousands and thousands of non-citizen nationals live right here in the United States. They don't bother nobody. They go to work, they mind their business, pay their bills, and chill.
Hmm.
But you have your others, and it's kind of difficult to determine which are which.
Okay.
Is this person a scammer? Is this person been taught some information and they
Hmm.
feel that they know something and they out here on their emotional stuff thinking they know what they talking about and they looking stupid?
Right.
um, it's difficult to know which is which, because I
Hmm.
remember when I first got into this, I met a brother and he was in the more science temple movement.
Okay.
So originally, I thought that was the way to go,
Hmm.
the more science temple way. He told me all you need to do is proclaim your nationality. Um, he could do the documentation for me. I was like, oh, okay, bet. What you need? He gave me a number. I said, ooh. He said, man, freedom costs. I said, all right, bet. I gave it to him.
Oh,
I got
wow.
I got some fancy documents, all nice, all these colorful seals on it,
Hmm.
Moorish dish, Morocco, all this fancy stuff. Get a new name, everything. I thought I was good. That was just play.
He was scammed.
Yes and no.
Okay.
He thought what he was teaching me was the real deal, Holyfield.
Oh. Mm.
He didn't
Mm.
realize that what he was teaching me was fool's gold.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Selling you
So
snake oil.
that's correct. So that's why I
Hmm.
was saying it's hard to know which ones are actually really scamming you,
Right.
which ones know the information, know what they're talking about.
Okay.
It's hard to know who even worth to pay for this information,
Gotcha.
because you don't know who
Oh. Mm.
is on what level of this. So
True.
you come in, you hear about the Moorish Science Temple, you go that route, you find
Hmm.
out that a lot of those brothers then done a whole bunch of stuff. I know you've
Hmm.
seen the news,
Yeah.
Moorish, so-called Moorish brothers running around here taking over
Hmm.
people's property, basically saying this is our land. I'm taking this. Uh, Adverse possession is what it's called.
Hmm.
It's a legal thing, but they were doing it crazy and wrong. I mean,
Okay.
it's a legal way to do that,
Uh-huh.
but not that way. You can't just
Gotcha.
go and say, "Oh, this is mine. I'm taking this. You took it from my ancestors." It don't work that way.
Mm.
It don't work that way. So it's hard to know who's which and who's not. And then it's also hard to know who knows the correct information. And do you, I've been studying this information. I haven't
Man,
used my social security number. My social
bro,
security number doesn't work anymore.
I remember when you started the path. This was more than it definitely was more than 15 years ago
Hmm.
because when we were doing the music kind of like started taping off around 2012, 2013.
Hmm.
And
I was in the
yeah,
books.
yeah.
I was in the books hard. Like I was
Yep.
focused on somebody's lying to me and I got to figure it out.
Hmm.
And I've seen a lot of stuff. So you could be in a many different levels of this. I
Right.
came in thinking the Moorish Science Temple way was the way to go and the only way to go, and that's not true. So I'm not
Okay.
gonna hate on the Moorish Science Temple brothers or anybody who was with that or anything like that. I
Right.
just found out that what I was trying to accomplish, putting myself back where I was taken from, and then put my family back where they was taken from, I didn't need the Moorish Science Temple to do it,
Mm.
especially after the brother that belonged there was feeding me the wrong information.
Yeah. That had to be disheartening. Yeah.
It was, but it wasn't.
Okay.
It was a lesson.
Oh, everything's a lesson, good or
And
bad.
and
Everything's a lesson.
I always look for the lesson. And it told
Yeah.
me stop throwing your money at stuff and put in the work.
Mm.
You can read. Why don't you go
Hmm.
study yourself? So I did that. At first I threw money at it. Oh, fix it. Get me out the way.
Right.
Get me straight. But that was my introduction into getting into the journey, and it cost me some money. I think it was like I think I did myself and my dad before I figured out it was trash. It was like
Hmm.
like $2,000 in at that point in time,
Right.
and it was all for some pieces of colorful paper.
Mm.
Didn't work for nothing, but for the most part, so you got your scammers, and then you got your folks who are just trying to write themselves back in spiritual, cultural obedience. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And the main motto is, even with the more Science Temple brothers, is staying in honor. you can let your emotions and everything that has happened and all of this stuff get to you, and it will turn you into somebody who don't have emotions for this, that, and the third, and you doing crazy stuff and you scamming people and you just upset and you lashing out because now you got all this. You took this from me, you took this, you got this entitlement thing going on, and all of a
R-
sudden now you lashing back at the wrong people.
right.
So you got your scammers, and then you got folks who are just confused and hurt.
Mm,
And when I first realized everything, I was angry.
I
And
bet.
then I was depressed for 3 weeks.
Okay.
I was all on social media trying to tell everybody what I learned, and nobody wanted to listen.
I listened and that's why we're here today because I remember and I listened and we've had a few conversations about it. So, but yeah,
Yeah,
continue.
yeah.
Mhm.
But I'm sitting back watching people get hurt. I'm sitting back watching people put themselves in situations where they think they're going this route for help,
Mhm.
but that's not help. Your audience can fact check me on this.
Okay.
Any catastrophe that we have had in history where society was hurting and the government stepped in, every last time it failed. There is no successful time. Fact check me. I'll come back on here and you can berate me all you want if you can find it, but you will not find it.
No, you would not.
You will not find
Listen to my smarts. Listen, that doesn't need fact checking. It is correct. And anytime, there's a saying that I like to say that anytime something is free, you're the product.
it.
You
Yes.
are the product.
Yes.
Yeah. And if they're giving you something, you're still the product. So
Nothing is free.
nothing is free. Nothing
Especially
is free.
not if it comes from this said government because they don't have anything to give you. And if they have anything, it came from you originally.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
no.
That conversation. Well,
Yeah, we'll do
yeah.
another one.
We'll do another one. Yeah.
But for the
Absolutely.
most part, sovereign citizens, non citizen nationals, people who are pursuing this, we follow laws,
Hmm.
we have rules. We don't believe in the United States, so we don't believe in US code. That doesn't mean we don't believe in laws. We don't believe in decorum and rules. We do. We follow public law. We follow the state's constitution. We follow the organic constitution to the United States of America.
Hmm.
There are plenty of laws,
Oh,
and we follow those.
qu- let me add to that. Let me ask you this. And this isn't. Um, I've done a little bit of research, and
Hmm.
in my research, I discovered Black's law,
Hmm.
and man,
Black's law will have you on your head.
yeah, because when I scaled it back, I had an understanding that in all actuality, there are two types of laws: maritime and land.
Yeah.
And look, y'all could go research that part, and that's gonna blow your mind away. But man, we that's another conversation we can have at another
Woo!
time.
Yes,
But yeah, man.
indeed.
But go ahead, man. Yeah.
But I want people to understand that the sovereign citizen movement, I'm telling you, has been purposely put out there in a negative way because
Mhm.
they don't want brothers like me.
Right.
They don't want you to be able to find out what's really going on. Like I did all of this. You know what I'm doing now?
Hmm.
There is, if you go into US code, they took all the Indian stuff and put it in trust, and it's been sitting in trust for all these years because there's no real Indians to say it's theirs.
Ooh, oh boy, that's deep.
Yeah. So I'm not doing this because it's fun or anything. Like I got a lot of family members who think I'm butt crack crazy. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people who would think, man, this dude is wild. You don't know what he's talking about, this, and that. But when you, and I'm not trying to say this to tote myself as any, but when you have so much information, it's hard to seem normal. It's very hard to seem normal. I see through a lot of things, and I see the design of things, and it's not good.
Yeah,
People are so dependent on things. Like right now, the news says this is what it is. This is what it is. Nobody
yeah,
goes and says, "Let me see."
yeah. The normalcy is the surface, and
Yeah.
we've been so indoctrinated to believe that normal is what's on the surface.
Hmm.
Anytime you go above the information or below the information, that's where the truth lies at. But we're taught the norm that's in the middle. Man,
We're
hmm,
also taught to gatekeep our own people.
oh, of course. Of course.
Somebody comes with some knowledge of this, that, and the third, it'd be our people that would kick you in your face and tell you it's not true when they haven't read nothing that you have read.
Hmm.
Sucks, but it's gonna work out.
It's gonna work out, man. It truly is. Information is key. Knowledge is power.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Indeed. Okay, what we got for me now?
All right. How does the concept of sovereign citizenship relate to broader discussions about individual liberty and government accountability?
Hmm. That's a good one right there.
Hey man, I bring the best questions, brother.
Okay, let's take the thing that we have a lot of. I don't want to disrespect nobody, but so-called teachers of this knowledge, right?
Okay.
And they are running around here teaching the people in this, that, and the third. And you got to think, if sovereign citizen has such a negative connotation now, then the teachers have been teaching wrong. But there's no accountability for the teachers. Like there was a story. There's I don't know if you know about this, but out here in Maryland, there was a lady out here in Baltimore. She was shot
Hmm.
and killed at her house. I forget her name, but her son was shot. He was wounded. He survived. She was shot. She died. She was under the impression, because a lot of people are mad with this government, man. They don't feel like the government is working for them, it's working against them. And they're right. But then when they go to fight back, they can't fight back. It's all the wrong ways. The government still wins. So she was running around here, driving around with no tags on her car at
Okay.
all. She
Mm.
didn't believe that she was in that jurisdiction to have to register the car and get state tags. She's right and she's wrong. She's not, because technically you were forced into this situation right here. They don't have your signature on no birth certificate contract, no any social security contract. These are all contracts that were done before you was of age to consent to a contract being done for you.
Mm.
See, we think we can sign these contracts and stuff for our children, and society and the government lets it go because we have um, custody of that child. So technically, you're not really signing them up for a obligation. You're signing yourself up for the obligation because the child's a minor. But technically, by law, you're not allowed to go and put no one's name on a contract that cannot consent to the contract. You can't say you're my father. You can't go get me a social security card because I didn't tell you to go do that.
Right.
You may think, oh, this is the right thing to do, and the government's going to let you because they're taking away my rights and they're going to use you to do it.
Hmm.
But contract law says you can't put me down to fulfill an obligation that I cannot obligate myself to. It's called the Baby Act.
Mm.
Cannot do a contract unless you're of the age of consent. So all these things that we have been put in, somebody forced us into these things. Somebody put us down this path. Like I didn't ask for none of this stuff. Like I was born in the District of Columbia. If anyone knows this knowledge, they know that the District of Columbia is the United States. It's the
Right.
belly of the beast.
It's
That's
all.
why I fought so hard to
Hmm.
where my My card does not say District of Columbia. It says Maryland because I proved to them that I wasn't stupid and I knew that there is no Washington D.C. It's nothing more than a piece of Maryland's land and a piece of Virginia's land put together.
Uh,
See, in order for them to create the District of Columbia, they needed land. Maryland
right,
ceded land to them, and Virginia ceded land to them. It used to be a full square,
right.
10 mile square.
Hmm.
That was the government. So I had to fight in order to get them to say, okay, 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 okay. All right, we got you. I had to pull out all the documentation, the District of Columbia Act of 1871, which created it. I had to prove to them that, hey, I can read.
Yeah.
I know that there's no District of Columbia. You stole my nationality away from me. I'm a Marylander. See, that's
Mm.
another thing a lot of people got it mixed up. What is your nationality?
Yeah.
Nationality,
Most people don't know the difference between the nationality, uh, um, um, what's the other one? Your
race.
ethnicity or
Yeah,
race. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Most people don't.
They don't. They don't.
Hmm.
Because I got my birth certificate is issued by the District of Columbia. Yet my passport and passport card and everything says that I'm a Marylander. So I had to get over that hump of proving to them that I know that the District of Columbia is nothing more than a fictitious entity. And there's no
Hmm.
way I could be born into anything like that. So uh it's difficult, man, because this government is so shaky. You feel like who can you trust? I grew up in a household, not necessarily a household, but in a family that was really patriotic. Like you joining the service and all of that,
Yeah. I come from a military family.
I was like, yo, it's my motherfucker, man. He cool as shit and he went to the service. Can't beat that.
Hmm.
So it's an honor type thing. But as I got older and I started researching and researching and researching, I was like, oh no, I'll never do that. They'll have me out here killing people that shouldn't be getting killed. They have me doing something that I shouldn't be doing or they shouldn't be doing. So I'm glad I didn't go down that route because now, man, look how things are now. Whoa, I'd hate to be in them situations. Mm-mm. So a lot of mistrust comes with this path because you want your freedom. You want equality, the real equality, not this other stuff that they run around here. Where you want real equality.
Hmm.
And what people don't understand is as much as they run around here and call themselves and act and show their black pride, they'll continue to be treated like shit. There's no such thing as black. You read Black's Law. What did it tell you the word black meant?
It ain't what they tell us. I say that.
It definitely is not. You go in there and talk about I'm a black man, cancel your whole everything, whatever you're in there for, you're gonna lose.
Yeah.
Okay.
Y'all go read Black's Law if or do some research on it. Some
Black's Law will have
eye
you
opening
messed
stuff,
up.
man. And you know what's crazy? I'm gonna show you what's in front of me right now. This is what I just got this today, and I said I'm gonna start reading it. And I hear it has a wealth of information, and uh,
Mm, okay. I like
yeah,
that.
yeah, I just got that today.
I got one for you, you might want to try.
All right,
Nice thick one like yours.
that's on my list.
Are you already on your list?
Yeah, that's on my list. That's on my list. Yeah, yeah.
These books and stuff like this is what
Hmm.
gave me the foundation and kind of some of the background. So, what I can say to you right now, Maryland and every other state, it's its own country. All of these states that we think are states, when we don't even know the definition of that, because you might want to look that one up too. Matter of fact, I did that one for you. Let me see. State means the several states of the United States: the District of Columbia, the Commonwealth, Puerto Rico, United States Virgin Islands, Guam, American Samoa, and the Commonwealth, Northern Mariana Islands, and the territories and possessions of the United States. When you are dealing with the government and you see state with a capital letter,
Two
it's
different
United
things.
States.
Yep.
When you
Yep.
see state lowercase, it's
Mm-hmm.
the real definition of state that we
State.
use all the time, like
Yep.
a particular place or state something is in at that particular time. I think is the definition off the top
Yeah.
of my head.
I
But when
saw
you
that in
see it in
Black's Law
capital,
too. Yeah.
yeah,
That was in Black's Law.
they
Yeah.
use this thing called, what is it called? I don't want to say it wrong. It's capitis demensis or something like that.
Yeah.
It's basically we're all corporations to the system.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you have a driver's license. Your name is in all caps. That's why you go to all the businesses you see, the names are in all caps. When you
Yep.
go on the EIN registration, you get your business, the name is in all caps. You go to the graveyard, all the names are in all caps. In order for this federal corporation to deal with you, they had to turn you into a walking corporation. You think I'm a man and woman, blah, 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 blah. But really, this system has you on as chattel paper. So, this sovereign movement is not about taking advantage of anybody. It's not about scamming anybody. It's not about being above any laws. Because when you are saying you are sovereign, you are basically saying, yes, one, you can't be sovereign without rules. Even the king had rules,
Mm.
you know? So, just saying sovereign does not mean, oh, can't call the police on me for nothing. You can't do this, and I don't have to do this, and I have to do this. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. There is laws, and the main thing over these man-made laws is staying in honor. You can't become the thing that you are trying to defeat. You can't do that. You can't become evil to defeat evil.
Right.
Just like you can't burn fire with fire.
True.
So the main premise of the sovereign movement, one, stay in honor. You are in pursuit of restoring yourself and your family's honor back to
Mm-hmm.
what was taken from you. So you can't do that outside of honor and call yourself a righteous man. It don't work that way. I can't fight a system to say they're evil, corrupt, and I'm evil and corrupt too. What am I fighting for? Might as well just join them.
Two negatives cancel out each other.
Correct.
That's mathematics. Absolutely.
Two wrongs don't make a right.
Right.
This has been a real good discussion.
Hey, and we only gotten halfway through, man. I have to have you back on the show. I'm sitting here looking at the time, and I'm like, wait a minute. We
Where
only
did it
got
go?
6 minutes left. I'm like,
Where,
where did the time go?
where did it go?
Oh boy, man, that's crazy.
But this
That's
this
crazy.
journey is definitely a journey, and I want people who are hearing about it, thinking about it,
Mhm.
reviewing their status, their situations. Listen, you are not what they tell you you are.
Mm,
I am adopted, so this was something that I really went on a quest of who am I, because
mm,
I was in a family that didn't even look like me.
mm.
So I immediately, from a young age, was on this quest of who am I. Then after that is who's all these people. Then after that is who is everybody else.
Wow.
So I got DNA tests. I got all types of stuff. I know people tell you, "Oh, don't take that." And they got your DNA. They got your blood. Listen, they took that as soon as you was born.
Mhm.
All of ours. They don't need us to go out here and not get a DNA test so we can hide our DNA from us. We didn't give blood, we didn't have accidents, we didn't have surgeries, we didn't have all types of stuff. They already got that. They knew what you was when you came out the placenta. I got churn. I know how the procedure goes. I know what
Mm.
they're doing at these hospitals. They're immediately testing you to see whether or
Wait,
not you're
whoa, 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 whoa. You can't. Yeah, you can't say that, bro. I knew.
good catch. Good catch.
I
Good catch. Yeah. I know what they're doing in there. So,
Listen, we can't say that on here, man. Woo, boy.
but the sovereign movement is not about people running around here thinking they're above the law. They're actually putting themselves back in the framework of law.
Okay,
So
man.
it's not a negative thing. It's trying to write yourself back where you've been taken away from history.
Mm, man. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Um, it's clear there are a lot of misconceptions. Thank you for providing clarity. I really appreciate that. And to my smarts, I know you guys can go out and do your own research and look up some of this information. Check out some of these books that we've shared with you tonight. The path of knowledge is forward.
Get your state's constitution. This is the foundation of your rights. You have to
Mm.
know this inside and out.
And if you don't understand legal jargon, he's absolutely there are a lot of points that were made. Lowercase words and uppercase words have different meanings.
Hmm.
The United
Yeah.
States of America and the United States is in fact two different separate entities.
Hmm.
The information is out there. You have to want it. You have to be ready to receive it. You have to be open to receiving it. You have to be open to relearning some truths. It may be hard, it may be painful, but it is the truth.
Hmm.
You can't get past the truth. Cannot get past it.
We are our only saviors. We must find a way to go back to taking care of ourselves and be self-governing. Otherwise,
But
someone's
but
always going to lead us in destruction.
listen, I used to say that, man, that I never understood why people will put so much thought and hope into the government. It's I and we could go, man, there's so many topics we can go about and talk about, man. And
Overall, we got lazy.
you that's man. We can't have that. Look, we only got 2 minutes left. So look, I'm
We
gonna
definitely
close
gonna have to
out.
do this again, man. We definitely gonna have to
I'm
do
gonna
this
close
again.
out, man. Listen, great show. Thank you for being on board, man.
I
Thank you for the
appreciate you.
insightful discussion. It's clear that understanding sovereign citizenship requires a lot of mental capacity and thorough research. And with that, this is the final boss. This is where we have the most difficult of conversations. You see the brother Saeed right now? He'll be back. We're gonna call it part two.
Yeah.
He will be back. And maybe a part three. Depends. If it's so much information out there that we want to pass on to everyone that we got to get we got to get you people the information, man. So
I definitely want to come back because there is a wealth part of this and generating generational wealth and how to do it.
mm, you talking my second language. So yeah,
The
we could
the
definitely
proper
talk about that.
the proper,
Absolutely.
so
The
I
proper
definitely want to
way.
come back.
Okay. All right. We're gonna be looking forward to that. Um, everyone, please, as I said it earlier, and I'll keep saying it, go like, share, subscribe the information. There was some tough points here, but everything that we talked about, it's this isn't controversy. This isn't controversy. It's unknown and it's unknown to you, but it's not controversy. So you can go share it out without fear.
Hmm.
And you know, there were no words that we used tonight that attacked others. This came from a place of love and knowledge. And with that, that's what we do on the final boss. I wish you guys have a beautiful week, and that's our show for tonight. Signing off.